Hi, I'd like to take an opportunity to show you how to use the functions on Zoom if it's a platform that you might find yourself using and you're not very savvy, or if you are trying to help others figure out how to use this software or tool and you're not able to be there with them in person, then I hope that this video can help guide them through some of the key features that we use when we meet online with Zoom. My name is Dr. Amanda Kelly. I live in Hawaii. I'm a behavior analyst and impacted by the COVID crisis. We are inside our homes, and so I thought this might be something productive I could do that would help families and friends and colleagues that I have, and maybe also would help you. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open Zoom. If you are responding to somebody else's invite, you will just click join, and you'll be able to join by the personal ID or meeting ID number that they gave you. In this case, you would just type that in right here. So for example, this would be one that we've set up for this video. You can automatically connect to audio or turn on or off your video. If you uncheck it here, your video will be on. If you check it, your video will be off. I often like to start with my video in the off mode. Hit join. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that my sound is on, and you see down here on the bottom, it's showing me my options. So on the far left, I need to join audio. Right now, nobody would be able to hear me on the other end of the screen. So I'm gonna join with my computer audio, which allows me to use a headset and just my computer. There's also the option to use your phone and to do a phone call. So at the top here, you'll see on the right-hand side, computer audio. You can click and join with your computer audio, or you can toggle over to phone, and you will see your options to join with phone. The meeting ID number is here, and it's specific to what was set up or what the individual who set up the meeting, arranged the meeting, determined was appropriate. You can test your speaker and microphone. So we heard that ringtone, so we would say yes. And we're gonna talk. So speak and pause, do you hear a replay? And we're gonna talk. So speak and pause, do you hear a replay? In this case, the answer is yes, so we're gonna select yes. And I'm going to join with computer audio. It's not essential that you test your audio every time, but it is important that your audio is working, so I'm gonna go ahead and join with computer audio, and it's informed me that I am using the computer audio. I already have an image set up. It's not my first time using Zoom, but that's something that once you start your video, that image goes away and you get to see what people look like fresh, live, today. So I will show you down here next to the microphone. If we click here, we're able to see those options again if we need to test, if we need to switch to a phone audio. Once we do that, we may want to leave the computer audio. Don't worry, there's probably somebody on the call who's able to help you navigate some of that. Next to the start video option, there's a FaceTime high def camera, or you can choose a virtual background if your computer is up to the specifications that are required by Zoom. Mine, unfortunately, is not, and I do not have a green screen. So you're just gonna get what's going on behind me, which is exactly what is in this video image, or this image that you see here. So start video, my hair is a little less put together, but for the most part, aloha, hi, you can see this is me on my screen. Now, when you are doing online stuff, you're gonna wanna think about your light source, the time of day that it is. During the daytime, this is very difficult. Right now at nighttime though, I feel like I have a spotlight here. You wanna consider the height and position and the angle of the computer or of the device. So you might try turning something depending on the light, or you might just want to go and sit somewhere else. Like this right here would be distracting, I think, if I was giving a presentation. So you can find different spots to go. You can dress it all up. You can dress from the waist up. But if you do, dress completely. But you might want to keep your pajamas on. But just be mindful of that if you get up and leave the camera view, because then people will see you fully. So in this case, if I were to get up to go get a drink of water, I would stop my video, and it defaults back to the photo. So you can still hear me. The people on the call can still hear me because I haven't muted my audio. So mute audio, and then it's telling me, because my computer can detect that I'm talking. So it's telling me, hey, you're talking, but you're on mute. So that's a very helpful prompt. I'm going to unmute myself. You can invite people here if you have contacts, if you have somebody's email, if somebody can't get a copy of that invitation, or they can't join, or they can't find the link, you can just copy it right here, put it in a text, send in an email. The URL is copied to the clipboard. I can click mail and then get that out to somebody right away to join. If there were multiple participants, I could see them here on the right-hand side. I could mute them. I could rename them. I could turn on or off their video because I am the video host. This video here is to really show you your tools and what you're going to need as a participant as well. If you want to mute everybody, you just hit mute all. You can still allow participants to unmute themselves. If you uncheck that, then you're going to be in charge of who can speak when they can speak. That can be very helpful during a large, like a presentation where it's not a round table, it's not a conversation, and then that might be something that changes depending on the size of your group, or whether or not you're meeting with colleagues, or you're doing some larger group kind of interaction. So that's up to you what those settings are. You can easily unmute everybody once it's time for Q&A, and then the drop down here with more, you want them to mute once they enter. That might be a really great thing. So if somebody's coming in to a room, they're going to be muted. That will help so that they don't have their background noise and their dogs and their kids unintentionally, their keys or things jingling in the background. So again, we can get rid of that by just clicking on the Manage Participants, and that goes away. You can see right now that not my whole screen is filled up with the Zoom video here, or with the Zoom window. If I click, just like with any other thing, if I click the green expand, it's going to take up the full screen. You can hit escape to go back, or you can again toggle over here and hit the yellow circle there. There's the option to do polling. I think that a lot of times that can waste or kill valuable time, so I often recommend using the chat function. The chat function, though, may be hard to monitor if you're giving a lecture or presentation, or if you're needing to read something. So if that's the case, you might want somebody else to manage the chat box and to say, be your sort of your liaison there and help facilitate the conversations. Now, one of the really great features of this is the ability to share. So I can share with you, anybody can share, multiple participants could share. That could be fun if you're, even using this as like a game night. Okay, everybody, you've got 1 minute, draw this picture or whatever, hold up your thing. And then multiple people can be sharing their screen simultaneously. Once you go to share, it asks you what you want to share. So if I had multiple windows open and I don't, it would tell me I could select one of those windows instead of just my desktop. So actually let me go ahead and open something else so that when that does come up, we'll see what it looks like to have options. So this is a webinar I presented with the National Council on Severe Autism, cooped up with Corona. So I'm going to keep that open actually, but go back to my Zoom window. So down here on my toolbar, my docking station, I'm able to toggle back and forth. I'm using a Mac, so just in case that's necessary for you to discern or know. As we go to share, you'll see I can now share with you my desktop. I can share with you just the PowerPoint. If I share with you my desktop, everyone's going to see everything. So they're going to see the Zoom screen or the PowerPoint, but they're also going to see what's behind it. They're going to see what's on my desktop. You may not wish for people to see that. So stop share, and when you go to share, you can make sure that the file is open, click on it, and now the only thing people are seeing other than potentially my video is the PowerPoint. They're not seeing anything else on my background. So this can be very helpful if you don't want to clean up your desktop, or if you don't want to clean up your household. Then when you have your video on, you want to clean that one section of the room that you're in, and this allows you to kind of do the same thing digitally with this online platform. You can pause the share so that if I were to jump ahead a slide, somebody else is not seeing that. They're actually still seeing the original slide. You also may have noticed, I'm going to stop sharing there and show you when we click share, there was the ability to do a whiteboard. So this is a very neat feature in here. You can stamp hearts, you know, if there's something that somebody typed or said. You have the ability to write text. So let's see, I have an online website to provide free information for families who are interested, teachers, providers. You see, I can't now take that and move that around. It's where it's at unless I hit the select tool. And now you're able to reposition or replace the things that you had put down. So there's the ability to spotlight something, and it tells you who did that. There's the ability to draw. So if I wanted to show you, like, this is a triangle, what do you think might be on top of this if I did this? What if I said we were outside? Oh, you might say that that is snow, right? Something like that. And I could stamp that as correct. So you see the ability to use this here. Undo, redo, and then a way to just absolutely clear it. And then you can also save it if you need the permanent product as well, or if you need this, save for something in future reference. You can hit clear all my drawings, click that, and then I would again just stop the share. The chat feature, which we already talked about, is here. If I were to expand it this way, you're not going to be able to see the PowerPoint or one another. When you are the individual running the session, other people cannot see that you have that chat box open. So if you do pop it open and feel like typing, go ahead and do that. People can't see the exact same thing that I'm seeing now. They're just seeing a black screen with my face, not the chat box. They will be able to see the chat box on their own end. So if I were to type in, aloha or hello, it would flash down here. It would flash orange. And then you would know, you would be oriented to the box to say, oh, look, I have a message in my chat box. You can record these. I find that from time to time, I forget to record a presentation. So my recommendation is to hit record at the beginning of whatever you're doing, and then you have the option to download this or save it or edit it if you have the time and the interest in doing that. Depending on whether or not you have a paid account or a free account, the host can also record to their computer or to the cloud. If you are a participant, you're not able to record without the host permission, or the host is the one who has to be able to record it. There's also a closed captioning feature, but it does require using a third-party closed captioning service or assigning somebody else to type. That's dependent on you and your organization. I have not yet had much experience with that, so I would have to leave that to a later time. You see here, if I exit full screen, then right now people are only seeing what's on the Zoom thing. If I go back to sharing, I have the option to share the whole desktop or to just share the PowerPoint. So right now, if I was presenting this, the viewers would be able to see all the numbers, right? All the slides on the left-hand side. They would also see this format box. So be aware if you want that visible or not. And if you're using something like Keynote or PowerPoint for your presentations, if you hit play, then everybody's seeing the same thing. Again, if your camera is on, they'll also be able to see your head in a little box. All right. So there are some additional features that I could show you when I had other people on the call. It's 7:30 in Hawaii right now, which means it's like 1 a.m. or 1:30 and on the East Coast. So a little bit difficult to get people to jump on, and most people are probably doing dinner and things like that here on the island. So I can certainly see if I can get that to be something that's available. I'm going to hit stop share there. And once I have people on the call, perhaps I can make a follow-up Zoom or how-to video for you. I think we covered most of the features, so I think that they should help us who are getting started or helping others get started understand some of the basic functions and features. Again, mute, start video, invite others, manage the participants. That's for the presenter. The polls, if you choose to use them, how to use the share. Chat functions are really helpful. Might be good to have a moderator. If you're going to record, I recommend recording at the start so that you don't forget. So you'll now see I hit recording, So in the top left-hand corner, I have a little cloud and it says recording. So I know it's recording and I know where it's recording. If we took a 5-minute break, you can hit pause. It will pause your recording. That's a very, very neat function. You hit stop to stop recording, or you just let it go until you end the meeting, which you do that by clicking right here. If you are the host, you can end the meeting for everybody, or somebody else can kind of continue on if you need to jump off. So if you're the host, be really careful if you select leave meeting or end the meeting for everybody. I'm going to end the meeting for everybody. It tells me that my whiteboard image is saved, so you'll see that I can just click right there. You can also see that I'm running out of space. I've got a lot of things on my desktop and in my cloud, but I have access to that whiteboard. I also have a permanent record of the chat box. Again, I only typed in aloha. There was nobody else conversing, but if there were discussions, you would be able to see this. So you can save this as meeting minutes, as notes, parent training logs, parent conference and things like that, anything that you're using this for. It also tells me I have an update, which I probably want to get to doing, but I'm just going to say later for the purposes of this video. I want to thank you for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and close out of Zoom, and I'm going to let you get back to your new normal. Take care. Bye.